this is Christine Bertram, and I am coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It is 1 o'clock on Monday. It's the 16th of June already, so we're, officially halfway through the month. And we've had an exciting first half of the month. We had an amazing Stampin' Fun in the Sun last week. Well, actually, I think it was probably even the week before. It's already been a couple weeks. Wow. And we had Paper Palooza get all kitted up and kind of out the door. And now the second half of the month, we're going to rock and roll into classes. Big time. Like crazy. Like, you guys, if you're worried about watching stuff, you don't have to worry anymore. Because Kelly already was live this morning at 10 with the kit class. I have Let's Just Stamp right now, and then tonight we have the mystery card night, right? So clue 1 has been published, and I already got a question on it, and I didn't have a chance to look up the answer, but I think I'm going to try to answer that question right while we're live here. So the question came up, is it a card? Because there was no score line on any of the pieces of paper. So I have to admit, Jolene helps me with these clues. She loves helping me. We looked at this last night together, and I actually showed her how to publish it, and we did it together. And I didn't necessarily proofread the pieces. I trusted the process, which I'm thinking that is okay. I'm just looking here to see if I can find, yes, this is correct. There are no score lines, because the way that this is a fun fold, you don't always have a true traditional A2 size card that's 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4, right? So it's not your traditional card, you guys. It's a fun fold. And I went in talking to her, she opened up the conversation with, we need something a little more exciting and to get people thinking versus doing our traditional, what we've been doing. Okay, so after I read this first clue here, 5.5 by 5.5 for cardstock 1. That, I guess you could say, will be the start of your base, and you'll have to pay attention to our clues as we read them tonight, that you'll catch what happens with that piece. So so Doris Munson is the one that reached out to me asking, not Doris Munson, Nancy Mole. I think it was Nancy Mole. Hang on, there was a text. It was Nancy Mole, you guys. So Nancy Mole, I'm not sure if you're gonna watch this class now, but I'll try to respond to your text after class. But for those that are wondering, that 5.5 by 5.5, I'm giving you a little look to the future. That is going to be the base for your card, and we'll probably score it together as a group tonight during class. So, okay, so that answers that question. Yay, okay, I figured it out. So, hello, Sherry Martin. Hello, Jamie Kirkpatrick. I'm going to do some hellos before I keep going with my where my thought was going back there. Hi, Margene Eskelson. And I love that you girls are connecting. That's awesome. And we have Debbie Gass, hi Lena Krause, and Mary Jean Kiepert. Hi Debbie Stone from Texas. Hello Cindy Runtree and Carolyn Ketchmark. Hi Lisa Spacek and Pat Smothers. And there's Trisha of the Crafty Loft. Yay. So I was starting to prepare you guys for a month ahead, the second half of this month. So we've got mystery card tonight. Tomorrow, oh my gosh, all day long, I have 4 lives. For those people who are doing my Stampin' Fun in the Sun with me, tomorrow is our make and take day. So I have 4 different videos scheduled, 1 for each of the mini classes. So for people that are doing that with me, those are your unlisted YouTube links. So it's not open to the general populace. So for those that didn't do the event with me, you're not going to be able to see that. Hi, Gwen Goda. Hi, hello, Rosie, Prouty, and Kelly. You're not going to be able to see that, but if you are part of the Stampin' Fun in the Sun, you will have received, and you did already, hopefully you saw them, you have your Facebook, your YouTube links. So you know, I got a frog. Hang on, you guys. One. You don't need to hear that. It just started right when I went live. It's one of those things that always happens right when I go live. Hello, Becky Rohr and Vanessa Ritter. So those people that are part of the event will have that tomorrow. And then on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central, we have Share a Recipe, Create a Card, Inspire Others. And we have Susan Wormley on the lineup for that recipe card. And I know I just sent one out to, well, Janice Ormiston's, yours is going out probably tomorrow. And I just sent one out to Jean Terwilliger. So between those 2 girls, we'll have one for July and we'll have one for August. So we've got a great lineup for the summer for that class series. And then on Thursday, the 19th, you guys, we have the Sweet Class live. And then on the 20th, I have Craft Roulette with Mary Gunn. And that is Friday night at 6:30. So I think there's a live every day except for there's a live every day for me, and then sometimes 4. And then tomorrow night in person, Diane has Let's Just Stamp. Monday or Wednesday night we have the sweet class in person. So this whole week is full of classes, you guys. Next week on the 23rd is a Monday. Kelly's got a kit class lined up for you, and I think that there's nothing in the evening, and then Diane has ink, paper, scissors on Wednesday night that week, and then we've got bingo in person on Thursday night. Thursday during the day on the 26th we have Rose's Technique Club class, and then I have ink, paper, scissors that night. It's just the back half of June is just slam bam full of classes. Thank you, ma'am. So lots. And then I think we have nothing the weekend of the 28th and 29th. Well, I don't know if Gina might. So, and then that doesn't even include Gina's classes, you guys. I think Gina's got something on the 30th and the 25th. So we are in the process. We just updated the events calendar. I had said I wasn't going to update that a lot. Hi, Mitzi Stanley. Hi, Andy Acquisto. Can you only join you for a bit and then a work meeting getting away? Okay, no problem. We got to get that paycheck to buy the stamps. And I did leave you a voicemail last week, Ann, about your baby, your starter dough baby. Oh man, I'm just curious, is it dead? Are you for certain it's dead? If it's not dead, did you try feeding it? Like, it needs to be fed. Babies need to get fed. And those the sourdough starters need to get fed at least every couple days to be healthy. And if you're not, you need to throw it in the fridge so that it cools down. So we got to figure out. It's been over a week now since you got that baby, so I don't know. You'll have to tell me if it's really, really dead. So, oh, hello, Cindy Rentry. So we've got a lot coming up for you the back half of this month. You guys, there's gonna be there's not gonna be a loss of anything for like time watching crafting stuff with me if you like my stuff. I do have some kits left too. I'm so lucky. I had Tammy and Annette that came in on Friday, and they helped me kit up more of the June monthly class. So I went into that class not realizing I had none left. I didn't count how many people were signed up for that class, and when I counted, we were at about 75 to 8 or 9, maybe 80, 83. It was like, oh man, we were only going to kit up 20 more. And then I realized that we were under kitting. So we ended up kitting up 28 more of the June monthly class on Friday. And I think when it's all said and done, I still have about 5 left now. I'm pretty safe to say that. So if you guys missed out on that awesome class that I did last Thursday night, don't feel like there aren't kits left, because there are. There are probably 5 left. We also kitted up more of Scenic Adventures, the suite class. It's not a suite, it's a bundle. And so that class is this coming Thursday. But we were square out, and so we made 12 more. So there are at least 9 left of that class now. And for ink, paper, scissors, we have about, I'd have to say 7 to 8 left, which is great because that class isn't for about 2 weeks yet. And then for this class today, let's just stamp, you guys, boop, boop, these cards that we're going to be making momentarily. I looked in here, and I think that there's about 6 left. So for all of and then for Rose's Technique class, if you're in Canada, you can get that one. And then Scenic Adventures, you can get if you're in Canada as well. But for me in the States, I have for Rose's Technique Club class, I have 4 left. So each class that I have for June, the 5 classes, I should say, I'll have some left. But it's getting down to the nitty gritty at the end. So if you want to get registered for any of those classes, I would suggest emailing both the cbcenroll@gmail.com, which is what Carissa monitors, and she helps me log the back end, and giving me visibility on the front end, which is Christine@cardsbycrispy.com. I know it's emailing 2 email addresses, but that makes sure that we don't overcommit again. What was happening is she was getting registrations, and people still register with me. It just happens. I have people that still want to just contact me. I'm okay with that. But what happens then is we overlap and overcommit card kits, and that happened to us in June. And so it's not the end of the world. We were able to kit up more, but it would be great if you copied both me and Carissa, because then whoever can get back to you faster with a response and get it logged on the spreadsheet, that's what we need. So yay. Hello, Rose Garibaldi. Just checking in, and we'll catch the replay. Awesome. You're with the Grands today. I love it. Enjoy that time with them. I got to spend a moment with my grandma today. Hi, Laura Sullivan. My grandma is 97 years old, and she's on her final days. And Kelly and my grandma. She's my dad's mom, and she just turned 97 on May 6th, and she stopped eating and drinking late last week, and a Wednesday actually, about a week now. And so we went to say our goodbyes to Grandma Bertram today, and We don't know how long it'll be, but you enjoy that time with them. Every moment is cherished. You need to make sure that you have all that time with your grandkids. She had a great long life. My grandpa passed away in 2000, so he's been gone for 25 years. So it was a little bit sad when I said, say hello to Grandpa in heaven for us. And she stirred a little bit. And I think she heard that. I have to believe she heard that because she was just kind of more calm. And then when we were talking about Grandpa, then she kind of stirred. And I don't know. It's just, I feel like she heard us. So just enjoy that. So I wasn't going to even bring this up, you guys. It was like less than an hour ago. I just got home about an hour ago from visiting with her. And I'm glad I did. I'm very glad I snuck away for a half hour. It was 45 minutes or a half hour with Kelly, and we got to be with her. So, but enjoy that, you guys. If you're grandparents, make sure you spend as much time with those little ones as you can, or the adult ones as you can too, because you can't take those memories back. So, all right. Oh, thanks, Cindy Runtree. Hello, Mary Novak. So, what I was getting at is we're winding down with class signups for June. We still have some left. So if you're watching any of these videos on the replay and you're wishing that you would have gotten in on the kits, it never hurts to ask. The worst thing that we can say is no. And then what's going to be on the other end is, okay, no problem, right? Because that's just how it goes. We run out of kits. So I have my book open in front of me. I am going to do roll call really quick. We do have 45 people that are in on this class for me today, so far. And I'm looking at my notes here. I have 8 left, and that's provided that Diane only has 8 in person tomorrow night. So Diane and I have to work together as well because we use the same kits. We kit together, we design together, and she pulls what she needs for in person, and then I pull what I need for online. And so we roughly have about 8 between both. So, oh, thanks, Hope. Hello, Randy Schultz. Oh, thanks, Andy Aquisto. Yeah, it's peaceful last. Yeah, you guys. So my grandma Haas, when she passed away in 2003, she passed away in her sleep, and she passed away before she got to the very end. Right, she was 87, so she lived a long, great life too. And I had just painted her nails like 2 days prior, and so she was just for her funeral, like she looked perfect, right? And it's harder when you see somebody at the final end going through the last few days of their life, and they've lived a long life, and it's a different feeling to have, and just knowing that they're going to be in a better spot when they do pass peacefully. So oh thanks, Rosie Prody. Oh, thanks, Carolyn Ketchmark. I appreciate that. Thanks, Randy. Oh man. All right, so we're gonna do roll call. I might have to do this a little bit, but and so we have first on our list Miss Julie Bierschbach, and then we have Julie Bontranger, Donna Grushke, Lori Kaiser, Mary Lemke, Joanne Naples, Gwen Petrashek, Nina Barbaric, Cindy Runtree, Connie Moore, Bridget Rowe, Debbie Gass, Lisa LaFramboise, Kathleen Ketterman, Faye Godby, Debbie Stone, Andy Aquisto, Kathy Showalter, Carmen Sanders, Angelique McClendon, Lisa Fessing. Lisa, this is your first class with me. Yay, out loud. I mean, I should say, okay, so Lisa attended the Stampin' Fun the Sun, but this is her first class where she signed up and got kits mailed to her, and so I got to say your name out loud. So yay. Barbara Godby, Sarah Merchant, and then we have Rose Garibaldi, Doris Munson, Lynn Beasley, Trisha Fagley, and Susan Bellamy, Sherry Everett, Sandy Coy Emery, Feline Mays, Leslie McMinn, Kelly Gibson, Karen Woods, Pat Fleming, Sarah Mitchell, Karen Stagg, Hope Toy, Janice Ormiston, Sherry Martin, Ellen Brover, Vera Anderson, Donna Palazzola, Carolyn Ketchmark. Okay, so I have 8 left, and I want to thank you, all of you guys who registered to take this class with me. You got all those people that I just listed off their name got kits with me, and they're the reason that I do my YouTube lives, and I share them on the public format, even though they're the ones that have registered to get card kits from me. I share the love with everybody, but I want to call out a special thank you to them for getting card kits from me. They help me stay out of trouble. And I also like to do that in case I missed signing somebody up. Hopefully they hear the roll call, and if they don't hear their name, they can check in with me and say, hey, what's up? I thought I got this class, but I didn't hear my name. Is it possible that it came on during an advertisement, or what's up, right? So we can figure it out. But Carolyn Ketchmark just asked if you received my check. So Carolyn, I am almost positive I did. I did. It was in a padded envelope, and you had something in there for Kelly. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I got it. I will officially reply via a text or an email letting you know that I got it. I got maybe 10 envelopes from people last week, and my goal is to get through them today, right? So I'm pretty sure. All right. Oh, Mitzi has a great aunt will be 106 in 2 days. Wow, that's a long time too. Hello, Diane Bogenhagen, and hello, Polly Libby. A bunch of you girls are here. I love when you call out that you say that you're here. That's great. And people watch the live. Sometimes they work on other things, and other times they work on cards with me. This class was a little bit sketchy with the mailing because a lot of your kits, a lot of those people who I just read off your name, your kits are mailed with your Stampin' Find the Sun box, or there are a few that didn't have the Stampin' Find the Sun, so they got mailed separately in different packages. And I know that there's a few that you haven't gotten them yet, like Carolyn Ketchmark and a bunch of you. Like Carolyn's, I think yours got mailed, let's say on Thursday or Friday. So some of this stuff, this class might be in the mail yet. So just know though, if I read your name, I had you on my list, and we got you set up for class. All right, and we'll do a drawing at the end of class for somebody who placed an order to get the class for free. All right, so I have here, I want to show you guys something. Yep, just making sure there. Yep, you betcha. All right, I'm going to drop the camera down. I'm going to drop it like it's hot. And I'm going to share with you, Kelly did a kit class. And she left this here for me to share it with you so that you can see the kit class that she did this morning. It was called Make a Memory Kit. Make a Memory Kit. And what she did, you guys, I'm going to share with you what she started to scrapbook some of our trip from when we went to Disneyland or Disney World, whichever it was. I'll be honest with you, I spent a couple days there, and I'm guessing it's Disney World, so the one in Florida. That was our flight attendant. He is actually, it was amazing. We got to meet him because he heard our accent, and he's like, "Are you girls from Wisconsin or Canada?" And we're like, "Wisconsin." He's like, "Well, where are you from?" Like we said, we flew out of Appleton. He's like, "Oh, cool. I grew up around there." And we're like, "Where did you grow up?" He's like, "Oh, Fond du Lac." And we're like, "Fond du Lac? Well, what are the odds that your flight attendant is from Fond du Lac?" And he was born and raised in Ripon, where Tyler is from. So, like, what are the odds? So he got a selfie with us. It was awesome. And then I got bumped to first class because I put everything for my business on my American Airlines credit card. And so we had paid for the tickets, right, or Stampin' Up did. And then because like we were first on the wait list or whatever for first class or something, then they put us to first class. So we got to enjoy that perk as well. And he was the first class flight attendant, which was super cool. And then I just wanted to show you guys this. This is Amanda Waldert and Kelly. They're the girls who I basically hung out with, and Marissa while we were there. And that was spinning the wheel. And then we got some photo ops there. And we went to Epcot Center, and we drank and ate ourselves around the world, I guess you could say. And so this is some of the food. The poutine from Canada was amazing. We got some ramen dish from China. This was scallops and potatoes from, I have to look. This was a German potato pancake with applesauce and ham. And then a kebab from one of the Mediterraneans. So Kelly, she's like, she felt a little defeated because she only got through 3 pages in an hour and 20 minutes. And she cut it short there because she knew we were going to go visit my grandma, or I should say our grandma. But the kit comes with so much more for paper and embellishments, and you just have to print off pictures. And so her goal with this, just to share with you what her goal is, she's going to, for me, she wants to finish putting some more pages together, and then when she's all done, she's going to share that with you guys so that you can see how she puts that together. It's like a kit on steroids. I would have to say that is a little intense. It can be very overwhelming. I think I said, "How was it?" She's like, "It was okay." Like, she wasn't excited. She felt like she was going to get a lot further with it, but I think that's what scrapbooking is. You don't know how long it's going to necessarily take you to put something together, but if you can be set up with pictures and the pieces, it will be a little bit smoother of a process. And she also thought with the layout not the layout, but the design, the colors of that kit, they didn't necessarily match what her theme was with the trip that we chose. So the kit, she did a great job showing it, right? So I think that was a success, but she was like, "Wow, that was a lot." I'm like, "Well, yes, it is. Scrapbooking is a lot of work." Oh, Mary Lemke just said it. Scrapbooking takes time. But yes, awesome pages to Kelly for those 3. And I know she wants to get through, I think there were 12 pages. So I think her goal is to make some more the other 9 pages and put that together when the time permits. So, oh, Debbie Stone said her husband's mom was 97 when she died, stopped eating and drinking too, praying for, oh, thank you, Debbie, I appreciate that. And Debbie got her card kits with her paper Palooza. Yes, so Debbie, you got the Palooza and not the Stampin' Find the Sun, so I could put them in with that box. That was awesome. Yeah, I thought Kelly did a great job too, you guys. I know she always tries her best and she always does amazing things. It does take time. Scrapbooking. Yeah, you guys all agree, right? How can you expect to make 12 scrapbook pages in an hour and a half? You can't. Like, it's not possible. So I think her goal is to work on an outside of a live video and then just show you the pictures, and maybe she'll bring it into a future kit class and then she will show it and talk about it. So speaking of the kit classes, you guys, I was starting to say, I think earlier, that we updated the calendar. The Cards by Christine calendar, the one that is like gold to me. I refer to that calendar a lot. I wanted to let you know Kelly just updated, and we weren't going to update it a lot throughout the year, but there were some significant changes and additions. And for those of you who don't know, in my website, which is cardsbycrispy.com, oh, that's crooked. I got to straighten that up. Hang on. And not that way. It needs to go that. You guys, I got to have things. You know me. I'm an up and down, straight, left, right. I'm not a butterfly at an angle. I'll learn someday to be. So in my cardsbycrispy.com, there's a resources. It says resources. On my phone, it looks like this. There's a little hamburger up there. And when you have the hamburger, that is called a hamburger. Don't ask me why. It does not look like a hamburger. It looks like 3 little lines. But in the resources link here, there's a calendar. It's the second one down. Now, this is the old version. I have not uploaded. Kelly, at 11:35, right before we left to go visit my grandma, she created a revised version. And this is what you can, now you don't need to worry about possibly through June, but what you could do when I give you the green light, you could reprint July through December if you want to. The major changes are, and I like to let you guys know, and I'll put this in an email, the major changes are that Kelly is going to switch to helping me on Mondays instead of Tuesdays through August, which means the kit classes. That's why she did the kit class on Monday today, because it allows for her not to need so much help with the boys over the summer. So on Mondays, Kelly's going to be doing kit classes when it permits, versus it's not all the time. I guess I should say there's 2 or 3 a month, right? So she's going to do kit classes on Mondays, and I think one case it's a Thursday and instead of Tuesdays. So we updated that. And on top of it, Carissa Alberts, who is Lakeshore Stamping, she's on my team. She's the one that you guys, when you email CBC Enroll, she helps me with my enrollments. She started doing classes, I think, in January. And I think her arm got twisted way up here. Like way high, way up there. And I don't think she's in too much pain because I think she's smiling yet. She's going to start doing in-person classes in the Hive from now on, like through the rest of the year. We've marked the calendar. And so starting in June, I believe she's going to be in here on June 27th. Now that I look at the calendar, she's here on June 27th doing 2 classes. And then she's picked either a Saturday or a Sunday from July through December. And so she loves the blues, but I believe Diane, you already had blue. Yep, Diane already had blue. So we gave Carissa Coastal Cabana or Bermuda Bay. And so we added Carissa to the calendar, which is awesome. So you'll see that for the in-person community a little bit more. Also, though, if for the online community, she also coordinates her shipping to get classes through here to ship in your boxes. And so that's pretty cool. So you guys have that for to look forward to the rest of yours. Carissa is an amazing crafter and creator. So you've got another set of classes to choose from. And then the other thing that I changed is I pushed some mailing dates out a hair. We were very aggressive with getting kitting done and getting mailings done by the end of the first week of the month. And that is a push. And it's too stressful for my helpers and myself to try to push and get everything out by the first Friday. Like it was always like get it out by the end of the first week of the month. That is almost overwhelmingly stressful beyond like to the point where like we have to push it a little bit. Like you guys will understand. It might mean that you might not get your classes for a couple more days, but it's going to help us over the long run to keep our sanity. So that is going to happen in July. I pushed and on top of it in July, the mailing date is set for the 11th of July, but I will be in Appleton, Wisconsin for a demonstrator only event that Stampin' Up's putting on, and I can't be shipping, and I'm not going to reverse it and try to ship out by the 10th because that's just going to make it even more stressful. So we pushed it out to the Tuesday after on the 15th. So that's a change. And then also we did the same thing in August. We pushed the mailing date from, I think, the 7th, 8th time period to the 12th, I think, is the thought. We pushed, it's changed, just so you guys know, and we changed the dates of the shipping a little bit. So not much, just by a few dates. But you guys, I know you understand. You'd rather have us keeping our sanity and keeping the classes coming your way, and instead of trying to push and scramble and get burnt out, because we don't want that at all. So, all right. Hi, Twisted. Yes. Diana's right. It was like way up there, like her hand was like coming out the back up over here. So she has to arrange picture beforehand, layout, and then attach to page. Yes. Yeah, there's definitely a process with doing the scrapbooking, and all I know is she came up and she said, gosh, I give Gina a lot of credit for doing the scrapbooking classes. So it's a lot of work, and it was nice watching how she got organized. Okay, cool. So the other thing, you guys, for those of you who love scrapping, I had a heart-to-heart conversation with Gina yesterday too about her classes. She's got a couple classes where she only gets one person signed up for her classes, and it's her scrapbooking class, not the workshop one, but the regular 2-page spread. She usually gets only one, potentially 2 people that are taking that class, and her morning create class. She's been doing them both for 2 years now. She started in August of 2 years ago on my YouTube channel. And in the beginning, she had a few more people. And now towards the end here, this last half of the year, she's getting 1, potentially 2 people. And she said she's like, Chris, it's so hard to spend, like, let's say 10 hours, start to finish, designing, doing the live, prepping, mailing. About 10 hours are invested into one class, and to have one person sign up. So we're going to have to be a little bit further, have more further conversations on what she wants to do, because I had told her if I had one person taking one of my classes and that was all it was for 6 months in a row, that's where you have to figure out, well, maybe my time and energy is better spent doing something else. So just we're working through that to figure out, because I know that she loves doing the scrapbooking. That is her thing. And she's getting about 5 or 6 people that are continuously doing the scrapbooking workshop, which is great. It's just that the other one isn't getting as many people. So it's hard, you guys. It's a lot of work to put content out there, and then it helps offset the cost when you have people taking the kits and getting the product from you in the form of classes. So it helps. So we'll have to figure that out. So don't forget to click the thumbs up. I appreciate that, Cindy. Yay. All right. So we are going to be working with the Let's Just Stamp Extraordinary Flora today. Okay, so that's our classes, Let's Just Stamp. Extraordinary Flora is a bundle in the annual catalog that comes with dies. And let me grab this really quick so I can show you. So I didn't bring the dies down. I should have, but I don't think I did. So let me just go to the Beekeeper's Guide here and show you where we have the bundle for extra. So under B's for bundles, Extraordinary Flora is page 27. So this is where we're going to look at this. There's 1 die. So this is the stamp set, Extraordinary Flora. And I'll be honest, I don't think we even used the stamp set in the designing for this class. We used this die right here, and it's 1 die. And the washi tape is an add-on thing that you can get. So you're probably wondering, like, wow, this is a lot. It's a big roll of washi tape. What's going on with this? And I'm so happy I have this here because I can show you the washi tape. Now, in the kitting process, we lost a couple flowers. So we had to cut out of the middle of this. But what I wanted to show you guys is what the washi tape looks like. So here's this. Okay. So when you pull this out, pretend that there's a flower that, here, well, like the flower is here, that goes there. There's 1 set here that's pink, and then you keep going, and there's another set that's purple. So in the tutorial, we referenced that there's a purple set and there's a pink set. So washi tape is not so permanent in nature. And if you're looking for the washi tape, let me just show you. It's, I believe, with the embellishments. And that is found on page 79 is where the floral washi tape is. It's $15 for the roll. And just to show you too, the designer series paper that we are working with today is this bloom impression, floral impressions. So this is the designer paper we pulled out. So we have that pattern, and then we pulled in that pattern and that pattern. So we do have the other 3 patterns. I believe they got used last month, if I'm not mistaken, on the class. So you guys, I still have some of these DSP samplers left. I think I have about 15 left in case anybody's still looking for a handy dandy little reference tool with the designer series paper. Okay, so let's go back to this washi tape. Now, the die, you guys saw what it looked like, is one die, and it fits this perfectly. And it goes pinks and then purples and pinks, and it alternates. Hello, Bridget Rowe. And what I did, I learned on one of these rolls, there are about 30 sets of pink and there are 30 sets of purple, which for us, for your class today, what we did is we designed 3 different cards and we die cut one set of pink and one set of purple, and we put all those things into the pile. And oh, the washi tape is back in stock. Good job, Go and Go. Thanks for letting us know that. So I have these 2 sets, and what we did is we designed 3 cards using all of these pieces. So in your 3 card kits that you guys have that you're gonna get, what you're gonna do is we've already kitted them out. So I went ahead and 2 rolls basically, because we made 60 of this class. So 2 rolls, I put all of this washi tape on white cardstock, and then my helper, Anna Rebedu, she die cut 120 of these. So we had 2 sets of dies, thank goodness. So it was just 60 passes, just 60. But she had to line it up on here perfectly. So what you do with this washi tape, if you, any color, you could put a cardstock behind it, but we chose to do white because when you do white, it really makes them pop, because it would be more frosty if you didn't have anything behind it. And you need something to go behind this for it to be, like in my head, used. So just know that this roll gives you 60 sets, 30, at least 60. I know it was at least 30 and 30 if I remember correctly. And the way that I did this, when you have a piece of paper, so let's say you take your white piece of paper like this, what I did, I put, now that I have that back on here, because I was doing this in mass quantity, and you got to be very careful, because if you if you get a cat fur back there, you'll definitely see it through it. Okay, or dog fur. So what I did is I put one here like that, and then this purple one goes right to the end. It just fits at 11 inches, right? So then you got it, to maximize it, what I did is I put one this way here, which goes right to here, and then I put one here, right? And then I put one here. And you're left with like a little strip of white paper at the bottom here. So you can fit 5 of these sets of flowers onto one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, right? So you'd have a row, or I should say a column like this, and then you have 3 rows. So you fit 5 of them. So I did, I used whatever, if you had 120 divided by 5, what is that, 25, right? Maybe math is on the fly hard. 120 divided by 5, 24, sorry, 24. So you had 24 pieces of paper that I needed to use to make for 60 for this class. Okay, so that's a little bit about the washi tape, all right? So you use that die to die cut them all out, which is what Anna did for you guys for your class. And bless Anna, yes, you guys, and she was like so particular. She's the best die cutter for like this intricate kind of details. Tammy and her mom Sandy, they're like, no, we don't want it. Give it to Anna. So thank goodness I have Anna that doesn't mind doing this kind of stuff. It is a challenge for her. So Diana and I, what we did is we divided up the flowers, and we came up with this thought, like, let's do frames. So this is the sentimental framing die set, which that was part of the online exclusives that launched. I believe that launched in, so when you're not certain, use an index, right? So I believe the sentimental framing, I can't remember if it launched recent, like if it was March or if it was May. But if we go back to bundles and we do sentimental framing, it's on page 29. I went the wrong way. Okay, this is what we use. It's called sentimental framing. I don't think we used any of the words, but we used those dies, and we used, I believe, the 4 of them, maybe the 3 of these actually. And what's super cool is that when we die cut this pink one, we saved this. So we designed this card first, and this middle pink part came and we saved it for the last card. And with this purple frame, we took out that middle and we put it on this card. And so we specifically designed this card knowing we had these pieces of flowers left and we had these frames to use. And then we pulled in that last white frame. So it was really cool. We ended up with these 3 beautiful cards, and that's what I'm going to do, is show you how to put them together today. And you just have to be careful with the wax paper because it's very waxy and it doesn't like to stick with adhesive. So your golden ticket is here with you for class. It's called Extraordinary Flora, and it's the Let's Just Stamp on June 16th. So keep this with your card kits for when you actually go to make them. It'll help you find the video, and it'll also help you refer to today. I actually did email the PDF tutorial. Thank you to Jolene. She got the tutorial out to us last night, and we got to proofread it this morning. And so at about 10 o'clock or 10:30, I did email out the tutorial to everybody who I listed off in the email, or the roll call today, that you guys all should have it in your inbox. Make sure to look for it in your junk folder if you get sometimes my stuff goes to the spam folder, but that did go out today. And also, if you're part of the Inspiration Hive, the repository or the database of my class tutorials, if you're on my team or if you pay for that, that's in there as of this morning as well. So you guys can access the tutorial. So yay. All right, so this first card here, what we're gonna do is, I'm not sure which one it is, and it's purple, and it's gonna be either one of these two. And when you open it up, it's this one. Oh, it's my favorite. Okay, I love this one. Okay, so I'm glad we're starting with that one. And we had just done Let's Just Stamp featuring You Are Remarkable last month. And there's a really pretty sentiment in here that says, friends are flowers in the garden of life, which inside that frame, that sentiment fits perfectly. Now, for those of you who don't have a vertical sentiment, you could always flip-flop, and you could put your card to go horizontal with the embossing on the left, or you could put it embossing at the right, and you could put a sentiment going horizontal, okay? So just think about that when you're putting your card together. It does not have to be vertical like this. It's all going to depend on your sentiments. And our sentiments we pulled in were from With You in Mind and Beautiful Butterflies, along with the You Are Remarkable. All right, so with that being said, let's see what we got in here. So we used one of the new embossing folders. That is the embossing folder, I promise. You're like, why is it only embossed halfway? Well, that embossing folder, I think, is called Glass and Garden, and I think it's out of stock until sometime at the end of June. I think if I looked, it said June 30th, and I know embossing folders are right before designer paper. It's this little guy right here. It's called Glass and Garden, and we used this one that has the flowers, and it's only a 3-inch wide embossing folder. So what we did is we put that at the top of the embossing folder paper, knowing that you only need to see a strip of it. And thanks, Hope. So Glass and Garden, and it's part of the, I think, the celebratory Sips suite of products. Okay, so don't lose your flowers and your gems. So in this one, you've got the gems that are the creamy colored ones. So the gems for this class, we used all from the same pack, and they're called Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink Gems, right, like that. And the dark pink got used on one card, the light on another, and then the kind of champagne-y looking ones are what we use on this card. Pieces, so many pieces, you guys. Think of the die cutter Anna cutting all these, and then think of us like laying all these out for kidding. There's a lot of pieces. So you're just gonna want to set them out. And I promise you, like, they did their absolute best making sure that all the pieces were there. And you saw on the roll there, like, we couldn't find a couple. They were stuck together. So somebody might have two little flowers stuck together. Don't worry, because we did chop into the new roll, or to the new set, and we pulled out what we needed. So in this kit, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the die cuts. And again, this is white paper that we put behind the washi tape. And at one time, we cut out all of the little pieces. This little piece here is for your sentiment. That's going to go behind your frame, right? So that fits in there just like so. There's not a lot of wiggle room. Sorry about that. But we didn't want the white to necessarily come through where the little dots are. You have a piece of designer paper, and you're going to definitely want to use that side. This was a hit. This pattern of paper was a lot of people's favorite pattern from the Stampin' Fun in the Sun. And then you have your white and your Pool Party for your double matting on the inside. And then there's a piece of Petunia Pop ribbon. So Pool Party and Petunia Pop are just amazing together. So what we're going to do is burnish. Let's just burnish this right off the bat. Get your corners lined up and get that done. So then what I'm going to do is we need to do a little hokey pokey and turn ourselves around. So this frame thing has all these little dots so what I do generally is I put my I don't try to poke myself, but I put my naughty finger right behind, and it allows, when you're pushing, it catches your finger, and then they stick to your finger a little bit. And I'm just gonna go, and you can use whatever finger you want, but The other thing, I kind of scrape it back there to make sure they're not still hanging. All right, so there's 2 there yet. So one of the things I tell my die cutters is they do not need to do the hokey pokey for you guys. That everybody can do their own. We're just happy that they get the die cutting as far as they do. And sometimes it does happen where it doesn't get all the way through, and then you would just need to use your scissors to do the final push to get things unattached sometimes. All right, so here's around the corner here. I'm so excited. This definitely is my favorite. It's nice to have these frames too, because they were really perfect to have the flowers for going around them. All right. I think we're good on this one. And I purposely put all this onto my white piece so that I could hopefully make it to the garbage without knocking it on the floor. All right, so we've got all my little dots. Oh, look at all that little confetti, right? All right, be careful throwing that into the garbage. All right, so I think we've staged ourselves really good. We're gonna stamp our friend's sentiment. I'm using my white black ink pad. And what I'm gonna do is put this little white rectangle in here. I'm gonna flip this upside down so I don't accidentally get ink on the good side. And I'm gonna just layer this in here where I think it needs to go. And then I've got the sentiment on a block already. And friends are flowers in the garden of life. Like that. And if you stamp it a little crooked, you can make up for it when you go to adhere it to the back. This inside has thinking of you. So that comes from With You in Mind, which carried over. It was part of the mini catalog. And so what we're going to do is ink that up with the black ink. So I think we use black ink on all of these cards. So this is perfect to send to somebody, to let them know that you're thinking of them. Okay, so I'm going to do a little dry fit here just to make sure that that fits in there good. It does. All right, so we can get a little glue happy. So we can glue this, and we can glue this for now. So grab your glue and put those couple pieces together. And the base of this is like a normal base like we would normally make, but there's going to take a little bit of finagling to get those flowers together on the sides. So this one, you have a nice little pool party border on the left and the right and the bottom. Okay, and then you're going to grab your tearing tape and we'll make our sandwich. So you're going to need to have 2 waiting in the wings. Right, so let's find where that is. And then 2 scoops go down. And then grab the end. So from the front, with you looking at your front, I'll put that ribbon right across and make sure it's straight. I'm holding it with my hands and I take the tails and I flip them. I know that the tape is back there, so all I have to do is flip the tails into the tape, and I don't have to try to pretend like that I need to look at the back, right? Just know that that tape is in the right spot. Now, if the tape's not in the right spot, you're gonna have to put the tape in the right spot to proceed. All right, now this and this, we can glue these down. Whoa, stuck to me. And that will go on the outside, and then we'll put this guy on the inside. See, this is where it all comes together. The tying the colors together. No, Misty Moonlight would look really great with this too, if you want to do Misty Moonlight, because you've got some of those flowers that are Misty Moonlight-esque. And then this can go on our inside. And so let's just stamp and ink, paper, scissors, because I do those 2 classes with Diane. I've made a deal with her that we always double mat the inside. All right, so for this guy, what we're gonna do, we're gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna stage, what I think I'll do is I'll stage the back with some, I'm gonna put half the tear and tape on the edge, and then I'm gonna put the other half so it's behind the white. And we're gonna pick this up and then flip it the other way, like that. And now with the frame top up, we're gonna hover over here and we're gonna make sure that we get this straight in the frame. something like that. And then what happens is that should adhere on the back. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure what I did is I put a bunch of dimensionals, and then I found some strategic spots to put more dimensionals. So let's grab the big ones first, and we'll cue the back of this with that, and then grab some small ones, and you can find some areas in between the dots to stick some of the small ones. Like that. Put them right in between the holes, because if you put them over the holes, you're definitely going to see the white through the holes. And I think we'll do one more right there. Okay. I know it's a little bit of dimensional overload, but it's okay. The thing isn't going to go anywhere. All right. Then this is going to get put right down onto the front of the card. I pretty much have it centered top to bottom and then left to right. And so there's this middle area here that you're wondering, there's no embossing there. It's okay. You're not going to really, so that one came down and that one's up a little high. Once you put this down on here, you'll be fine. It'll be no problema. So I did see here, I'm picky, you guys. So I noticed that where I have that tear-in tape, you can see the white. So I'm going, well, actually you can see the white. It's from the, here's what I'll show you. So if you want to be picky like me, what I did is I made sure that the white ended right before the dots. So you couldn't see any of the white through the dots. I didn't do that so much on this one. I wasn't as picky. You can be picky if you want. You're just going to need to find a way to, so on this one, if you take off this tear-in tape, you don't see the white. But what happened, and I think right here too, if you take, so we cut that white piece just small enough that it should fit in the window. And now you don't see the white up there, right? But you've got stickiness right there. So you're just gonna have to finagle working around these little holes. I'm gonna put another one to kind of help push that up so that that's not gonna be a problem. Now over on this side, I've got the same thing happening. I've got my tear-in tape that you can see. If you would have used Scotch tape, I think you'd probably be fine. Oh, look at that. I have Scotch tape. So, oh, it's not right. Oh, it's way over there. Okay, that's fine. You could have used Scotch tape too, and that would have helped the situation because then it wouldn't be double-sided. Because I'm trying to really pop this up. And then now this side is the worst side for me because I'm really going crooked. And I can see that. So either you live with it and you don't worry about it, or you figure out a way to make it right in your eyes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my scissors and I think I'm going to just trim up. You gotta be careful because you don't wanna go too far. I'm gonna just cut a little bit of this off. And I'm gonna see if I can get so that you can see the holes. I'm really trying to. So I've got just a little bit here that needs to get shaved off. Like that. And we'll do just a hair more over here. We're playing card surgery right now. You might not have even caught that, right? But now you can't see the white back there. The question is, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put a dimensional right halfway on, halfway off, so that it's holding down that paper, but yet you can't see it in between the holes. So that kind of fixed my dilemma here of what to do. So now when you put this down, you don't see the white at all. So now that you guys are seeing this, hopefully you're more observant of it when you're gluing. But by doing that, now you don't see the white peeking through those holes, just in some certain ones. I wanted it to be uniform. Okay, so there's me being picky. You guys got to see it. All right, now the flowers. Flower. All right, so let's just plan where these guys are gonna go. So that one's over here. This hangy one goes right here. There's this leaf. Now, I will say sometimes when Anna cuts, there might be a little bit more white on one side than the other side. If that is the case, and that is something that you're not the biggest fan of, all you have to do is do the assist like that, and you're just gonna trim a little bit of that white off. And it's okay if that happens, because you can use your scissors, right? And so now you don't see as much of that white on there. Okay, so this guy is one that comes over here. This big, it's like a big rosy flowers here. That one is going to be up here, right behind like that. And then this guy is over here. This one is down here. And this flower is here. And now here's the deal. This one that I'm seeing, I don't know if that should be in here. Let me just look. I don't know if that guy's supposed to be in here, because I don't know how I'm going to look at this one more time. That's this guy. There's that. There's a paint. There's that. That. I will say that I don't think that I need this. And if you guys are watching and you're getting your kits and you don't have 2 of those, I'm just going to leave that. But what I am missing is my yellow flower here. So that's what goes on the inside. So we're going to have to wait and see if we get to the other kits what's going on. But these are the pieces that go here. So the first thing I'm going to do is start at the bottom here. And I'm going to put a dimensional at the bottom, because that's popped up down here. And then we're going to definitely use glue dots. So make sure your glue dots and your dimensionals are handy. So this one is coming down and hanging from the bottom like this. And then this one is up here. The part that hangs off the side here needs to have some support with a dimensional. So do that. And then what you're going to do is add a few glue dots here. Right? And then, so be careful, because you use glue dots, you can finagle things a little bit. So I just twisted it more to the right, because then when this flower goes on here, that's going to act like that. And then this one, you would definitely want a dimensional on this bottom one that hangs over the edge. And then you can use glue dot on the flower and the other leaf, I think. So this is going to tie in right like that and give this bottom corner some nice rounding. Okay, so there's that flower set. Up here, we're going to start with this guy first, up here. And what you're going to do is grab 2 dimensionals, 2 little ones, wee little ones. Those are what's going to be hanging over the edge of the frame. And then you have the flower. So the flower is just peeking out the corner, and we're just going to set it. So by using glue dots and dimensionals, you're going to be able to rearrange these as you need to. So we're going to set that really lightly there. Now this one has a dimensional way off to this left back side. And then on this, you're going to grab a mini glue dot and one up here. Now this is going to be coming down at an angle, maybe like that. And that dimensional is going to be off to the left here. This one will be fitting in right, like, you can kind of put it like that or like that. This little area back here seems like the only spot that would work for a dimensional. So let's put it right there. And then grab a glue dot. And it kind of wraps on the bottom side of that purple flower, like that. And then this guy, there's a dimensional at the top leaf here, and you could put a dimensional at the top leaf there, because those are the ones that hang over the edge. And then you're going to need glue dots right here and there, right? So don't cover up that little purple flower. You're going to go right next to it. And this is kind of framing down that, not the frame. And then what's left is this little guy. And you're going to get a dimensional for him or a glue dot. And he's going to tuck in right, covering up that tail, like that. Okay, well that wasn't so bad. Now, I do admit, I don't know why I have this in my kit. I'm not going to lie, I don't know. I'm not going to use it because it's not meant to go on this card. I'm going to hang on to it here because somebody might call me and say, I'm missing that, and I can make sure you get this because this is a very specific thing for these cards. or you can rearrange your wares, your floral wares, and figure out a way not to use it. But I'm not saying that you're going to be missing it, but I'm not saying it's not, like at this point, anything's possible. I am going to skip using a dimensional on this. And I think because it was sticking off weird, it was sticking up and kind of crooked, I'm going to go back to my glue dots and just use a glue dot on there. All right. You have 3 little gemsies, a big, a small, and then another one. And so I'm going to do a big and a small together over here. And then I'm going to put my big one, ooh, right in the middle of that flower. So on here, I put it in between flowers, but that guy fit perfectly in the middle of that little flower. So that looked cool. Very cool. Now, what can you Stella? This waxy paper is not the best for Stella-ing. It is going to like slip right off. But what you could do is you could Stella your frame, which would be super cool. So get a little bit of that glitz on the frame. I think my Stella pen needs to get rehydrated. So you could do that whole frame. And you could also do your ribbon. I mean, you can go over your flowers. I just don't know if it's really gonna stick because that waxy paper stuff doesn't stick to it. It'll wipe right off, is my thought. I did it, but I think it's gonna wipe right off. Okay, so there we go. My favorito, mi favorito card. Tahira, maybe? I don't know. No. Can't remember what card it is. Okay, but we got one done. Now, the other thing though is I'm missing this. In this kit, there's supposed to be this little guy. So I can't tell you exactly what's going on, but you guys in your kit are supposed to have this little yellow flower. Maybe that's why I got the kits I got, because they're like, you can work with whatever we give you. So we'll see what happens in the next 2. So my little, like you'll have that, and that goes on the inside. All right, so there's one. Yay, one done. Very well. Let's grab the next card kit then. And that goes with this one. The next one that I've got here, giving myself a thumbs up. All right, yellow. They call me Mellow Yellow is next. Okay. Oh, my gems, be careful. They fall right out. So we've got 3 of the pink gems on this one. So this is Strawberry Slush meets Darling Duckling? Question mark? Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Cindy. Thanks, Mary. I was added to this class. Michelle? Well, I don't know when we added you to this class because the list that I sent you in my email from Friday did not have Less Chance stamp in it that I remember. So you don't have this class in your box. I know that for a fact, Michelle. I saw your email and it said ink, paper, scissors, and monthly class. And unless I'm wrong, and now I'm so like, you got me. Like, if you added this, we need to redo your total, and we'll have to add, you guys, sometimes inquiring minds just gotta know things, right? And I just wanna see Michelle, because I just sent you, I resent you your enroll thing. So I burnished this, you guys, and then in here you have Strawberry Slush, and in here we've got revised enroll. I gotta see this. I gotta see what you had in here. You had I just got May ship in April, Pumpkin Bloom. And I just did not even remember seeing Let's Just Stamp. So, monthly class, stamp a stack, ink, paper, scissors. No, okay. I didn't have that in your list. I don't remember seeing it in your email from you, but not to say we can't make it happen, right? So we'll definitely get it added, and it'll probably go into your next box because your box went out on Saturday, I think. All right, so let's look at this card here. This one is our pink with the yellows and the greens. So let's look at our flowers. This one is for our inside. Let's just show you what the inside looks like. So we've got a little flower that goes on the inside, all right? And then we've got this guy is over here. This guy is next to it. And there's so many pieces, you guys. This guy is over here. That one is right here. You've got some little flowers. So there's a little pink flower and there's another little pink flower. This guy is up here. And then you've got a little green foliage up here. And then this guy's in here. You found yours in the second card. Okay, good. So I'm wondering, oh, here. Nope, this is for, oh, yes, you guys. So that's maybe what happened, is that it got put in. So yes, so here's my little flower, you guys. That is in this card, and that is what's supposed to go in this one. All right, so Debbie just said she found hers in her second card. So I'm gonna take a moment here, and I'm gonna glue my little flowers in, because this was supposed to go on my inside. Well, let's get that shot. All right, so perfect. So I found my little inside flowers, because it's not supposed to be in this one. So there we go. So now that is complete. My card's complete. Wonderful. All right. And you have a little baby bow that's going to go right down there. You have this piece of, oh, Cindy found hers in the second card too. Perfect, you guys. So we must have, it happens when we finish kitting up a card and then we're like, oh man, that was supposed to go in that last card. My helpers' jaws, like they just, like it's the look of defeat when we're like, oh man, we found this piece. But yet we have another card to kit. And it's so much easier to put it into the next one than to go and open up 60 envelopes and drop a piece in. We just laid it out on the next card. So that's exactly what happened. And I'm all for that. If it saves my time for my helpers so that they don't have to go fix something, we have a workaround, right? That's what we do. So yay, good. I'm glad that we have it. All right, so this piece of designer series paper is a 3x4, and we did that strategically because if you would have cut it any bigger, it wouldn't have been able to get 12 of these out of a sheet of 12x12 paper. Just know that this is just like exactly the size that it needs to be for this middle frame thing. So what we're gonna do first though is let's poke these out, because we do have some of these hokey pokeys here and we gotta get these out. And then our frame will be ready to use. So strawberry slush with darling duckling, they do go together like a horse and carriage, right? And let me tell you, you can't have one without the other, right? I must have had Al and Peggy in my head here recently. A rerun of Love and Marriage. All right, and Tyler said to me this morning, he's like, you know, we didn't watch any TV was not on at all this week. I'm like, you're right, never is though. I'm like, that didn't surprise me. All right, so let's do a little this guy. So don't poke too hard because you will poke through your finger and you don't want that. But I got my finger back here scraping some of these little dots as we go. Almost got them all. This one, they're a little more sticky than the last one. All right, so very good. Just a couple more, and when you think you're done, then you still have more left. All right, one over here. Perfect. And so if you push down and then pull that up, it kind of detaches itself. You want to make sure you get them versus leaving them hang on, because otherwise it might work its way back into the hole. There it is. Okay, again, get that into your garbage and not all over the floor. And there we go. Okay, so we have to be very, very careful. You get one shot in the night on stamping this, and what happens is I'm going to put my frame upside down and I'll put this right over the top of it. And I want to make sure it's as straight as it possibly can be. And you have lines, you have grid lines on here. The designer paper has the grid lines. So you're good top to bottom. It's the left to the right that is going to be questionable. And what we're doing is putting happy birthday in here. And that is from With You in Mind. And when you stamp it, I kind of have it centered left to right, but I have it a little bit more north than south. And that's because there's this stuff going on down here, and I wanted it to be in the window that's open, like the area that's open. All right, and so when I stamp this, I'm gonna be up north of the equator a little bit. You know, like the equator is the middle of the card, and to the, maybe just the hair to the right. So I'm gonna guess right about here. Okay, go for it, shut your eyes and just stamp, right? Okay, the inside, I've got Time to Celebrate with a butterfly. So we'll leave the black ink open. You guys, really, you get one shot on this because it's yellow and you really can't. Okay, I stamped it kind of crooked. It's definitely going uphill, but that's okay. Sometimes people intentionally do that kind of stuff, right? So on the inside here, we're gonna have a butterfly. Once the whole card gets put together, you're not gonna notice that things are necessarily straight or not. All right, so let's get you on here, Time to Celebrate. And then our butterfly is in strawberry slush. And if you were a strawberry slush ink pad, where would you be hiding? That is a question, right? We'll come back to that when I can find where my strawberry slush ink pad is. All right, so for now, I don't mind gluing this because I'll stamp that butterfly, no problem. And then we are going to glue this next, okay? You're gonna have to be very careful, but because we're using liquid glue, we'll be okay. So, because we can wiggle it a little bit. So let's get this guy on here quickly. Okay, and then over to here. So this is getting glued right onto, make sure you don't have it upside down. All right, you do want this to be centered almost perfectly. Top to bottom, left to right, right? You do have a little wiggle room, right? So this is gonna go right on here. With the liquid glue, you can still move this. I'm using the frame as my guide, and I have the ability to wiggle it. The main thing was I didn't want to see too much of this gap here on either side, right? So that's important, right? And that you put it the correct way. Okay, wonderful. So that's glued. Now what we're gonna do is take the mini dimensionals under the stamp set on the left. I thought so too, but it's not. I don't even think it's on the table. I mean, I don't even think it's right next to me. I know where it is. We had the Stampin' Fun in the Sun cards, and those ink pads are still on the table. So I know exactly where it is. Now that we talked about it out loud, I think I'm good. So in the middles of where the dots, the little holes are, that's where I'm gonna be strategically placing some of these dimensionals. I'm trying not to cover up the hole, because if you do, you will see the white poking through. And now let's go like this. There, right there. How about right there? And there. Okay, that looks pretty nice to me. All right, so we're gonna go around the horn here and pick these off. I think one more could go right there. I wouldn't have thought about putting these two colors together. I mean, maybe down the road, but because the flowers were all these colors and the leaves, it really went good together. So then this, you're gonna center that over the top. Like that. There's not a lot of wiggle room with it because the frame is almost as wide as the card is this way, and it's not proportioned exactly the way I guess it's wider than it is taller, like on this horizontal card. And you can just barely see that edge, and it's okay though. Once you're all said and done, nobody's gonna really notice that it's even there. Okay, to put this together, this one right here is on the corner, right? So it hides some of that over here anyways. And there's one little spot though that you're gonna need a dimensional. So let's get some of these prepped. This inside corner here, right there, is gonna need a dimensional. Then everywhere else, in two spots, I guess, two spots, you can put mini glue dots. So this kind of hangs out on the corner here. These two leaves kind of fill that corner area, and this is coming close to the edge on the left here. So something like that. Now this guy right here, I would put a dimensional along that edge over here. So the right edge on the back, and then I would grab a glue dot, and that's gonna fill in this area over here. And the leaf is actually, like the stem here, I've got it tucked behind the flower, and kind of something like that going on so that you don't have the stem covering up the flower, right? Then, oh, this guy, this isn't for in here. So this actually is right here. So this isn't our middle. So we're still missing a middle. We'll find it eventually. So this, I put a dimensional there, and I would put one at the tips of these. And then I'd stage the back stem area with a mini glue dot. All right, so we're gonna set that there. This one, you're really not gonna use anything up there. Let's put this guy down. The stem is kind of, I would go something like that, where the stem is going to be tucked down here and you've got the two buds coming up that way. Then this guy's going to come in from this side, kind of cover that up. You could put a little dimensional on that top leaf there and then grab a couple glue dots there. This is going to kind of cover up that stem, make for a beautiful bouquet here, like that. And then there's one little teeny tiny flower left, and I would use a glue dot on that, and it kind of tucks right there. And then you have a bow in your kit, and what I would do is take this bow, the glue dot, and it's going to tuck right in there. And now this is where it's not going to stick really good to the waxiness of the washi tape, but if you squish it down real good, you should be okay. And then you grab your scissors and you can trim your tails for that. Okay, that side came together okay. You do have to be careful because it doesn't like to stick where the waxy paper, so you really, if you want it to stick, you got to push it together good. All right, then this side, we're going to need some more dimensionals. So let's cut some skinny ones here. And then I'm going to put one underneath the flower here. And then we'll use glue dots around the edge of the leaves. All right, so then this fills in this top area like that. This little guy, we're just going to put a couple glue dots. You guys are going to get a use out of your work out of your glue dots. So this is kind of peeking out from right there, like that. This one could definitely underneath the flower. Oh. So when you have two dimensionals right next together, sometimes they connect and then you can't use them. So we're going to grab this one. We're going to put the dimensional underneath the flower, and then we're going to put a glue dot underneath each of the leaves. All right, so then this is kind of hanging out right here. And then you've got this leaf set. So we're going to do a couple glue dots behind him. And he kind of, you got to pick this one up and just sneak him in because you can't have him hanging off the edge of the card. So he just tucks in like that. And then you have a little pinky left, a little baby pink. And that's going to go right in the middle area there. Okay. Whew, that was a little bit of a flower workout there if I've seen one. And now we've got some gems left. On this one, I put the two up here and the one down here. But I think I have a little more room down here because of where I stamped my sentiment. You can tell it's a little bit going uphill. It's okay. I'm going to put, it's going to be okay. I'm going to put the two gems together down here at the bottom. And I might even go like that. I'm going to put this guy up here by himself. So I did the opposite. I put one up there and two down here. But I'm trying to think if maybe, like, as long as you don't press them down, you can rearrange them where you want. Let's put these here and here maybe. I'm thinking like that. Okay, I'm all right with them there. And then with this one, you could also do Stella. You could Stella your whole frame if you want. And get a little bit of bedazzly on there. No, we're not quite done. We still have an inside to do, and that inside is almost done. And what I have left on it is I need a butterfly. So I've got the Time to Celebrate and the butterfly. They come from Beautiful Butterflies, which carried over. So let me go grab, I know where my strawberry pad is now. Okay, I lied. Think about this. I used it for the it's right here. I used it for the monthly class on Thursday night, you guys. So it's over here in a tub to my right, and it was actually within arm's distance away. So strawberry slush is on this one. So I love it that my butterfly is going to be perched on the words. Good deal. Very nice. And that's it for the strawberry slush. So now we can glue this on the inside. Perfect. And then we've got a second one done. Very cool. I did get a little bit of glue, and I don't feel, oh, I did. I got glue on this bottom corner because it hit the liquid glue when it was on the mat. So there's perfect. We got that off of there. Whew. All right, we've got a second one done. What I am missing, I technically am missing, is that flower, because it was on this one twice. But I bet you any money, if I go into here and I look in my flowers here, there's this one, and that is not needed on here. Okay, so we did a little bit of a treasure hunt for you guys to find your things. This was in the other kit. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that. It was meant to be on the inside here of that card. Just got a little flower growing out of the bottom here. All right, so we found it, yay. Don't ask me, it just got in the wrong kit. All right, but it's there. So very cheerful, uplifting birthday card for you guys. All righty, so that's 2 done. And the last one is this guy. So this was the third one that we actually designed. Hi, Cindy Nicolosi. All right. So Cindy, we got to connect at some point. I think this week you're ready to get your shares mailed out to you. So I have them here waiting for you when you're ready for them. So just keep me posted when you're ready to get them mailed to you. All right, so let's move this guy out of the way. Now this one is petunia with strawberry. So we have that for the inside. This is the pressed flowers embossing folder, question mark? It's part of the suite. I think it's called, so it's called Pressed Flowers Embossing Folder, down here in the bottom corner where my thumb is. And when we embossed this, we definitely got it as low as we could go, and we avoided this whole area that has nothing up here, right? So that's why we left that blank. I'm pretty sure that's part of the motifs embossing, or the motif suite, which is, no, it's not. Okay, I'm wrong. This one has the damask designs. I thought it was part of that, but it's not. It's part of a different set, I think. Okay, but that's the pressed flowers. And this is for the outside. Then you have this piece. And if you see this, it's longer, it's taller by a hair. So we do have to do some Freddy Kruegering on that. You've got another label here. And then this purple came from the other card. This one came from the last card, and we embossed it with the paint plaster of Paris. And then on this, you'll have your inside mat like that. And on the outside for this, we have this piece of designer paper. You've got a 4 inches of strawberry slush, not 6. We put 4 in here. So you're probably thinking, well, that's not enough to do this. Well, this was us being conservative with our ribbon, because we kitted this up before we could order a whole bunch of ribbon. So you do need to cut this in half. And we're going to use half on one side and half on the other side. All right, so that's okay. We do have enough, just you have to do a little more work for it. This piece, the Thursday delivery, and sell money's perfect. So we'll plan for later this week. Good, good. All right, so this guy, and then you have a leaf like that up there. This one is up over there. This one is on this side. You have a pink flower over here, a purple flower over here, another purple flower, this yellowy guy is up there. You have a purple flower and a pink flower. And then this yellowy is on this side. This is for our inside right there. And then you should have 3 of the light pink gems. Okay, I think that's everything. Now this one's a little, you're probably like, how did you get all that out of that? I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm not quite certain. So we might just go with it. I think that there's a, oh, that's what's happening. So this piece right here is what I'm missing. That is, this is, okay. So my very first kit, I had this extra, right? And in this kit, I'm missing this. But this is going to be okay to put right here. So I'm going to consume this in my card here because I need it to finish off this one. I feel like that's the piece I'm missing. So I don't know exactly what happened. If you guys, I'm curious. I know that Cindy and Debbie, you guys are kind of like working along with me. You will have to let me know if you had what I had or did you have the opposite, which is really weird. So let me just look at this really quick. That pink and that purple, and there were two purples, and it is that one. I had two of that one. So I'm not quite certain. It's gonna all work. At the end, you guys are gonna build a floral arrangement. I'm gonna use this guy here. It's the same size as that one. It's just, it's pink. It's supposed to be, that's pink and this is purple, but it's gonna look great with this card. All right, so let's do our little hokey pokey first and get this all situated. So I'm learning that if I don't use my finger back there, I won't accidentally hurt myself. So let's just do this. And what happens as I'm poking down, I'm pulling the white paper up, and then that's helping it disconnect so that it stays down. All right, and there's just a couple more here. There it is. All right, so that's what we've got for this guy. So we can go ahead and throw this away carefully so it doesn't all end up on the floor. I was only missing the inside flower. So I look like I'm good on my inside flowers now because I got this guy here and my last one had two in it. So hopefully you get to the last one and you find it. Here's a little trick too, you guys. I don't know if you know this. I haven't done this very much lately. But before you stamp your white label here, if you put a little bit of Stella on the top of this, you give it like a little iridescent-y. You probably, so you had to sell some here. All right, that makes sense, Cindy. No worries, no worries. All right, so we got Stella on our label here. Just have to know you have to let it dry before you ink it up because otherwise it'll get smeary and runny. All right, so I'm not quite certain if I did this, so let's just do it again if we didn't. And what we can do is, so we've got time to celebrate, and I've got happy birthday like that on the inside. All right, so we're gonna use the happy birthday. Let's grab this guy. You did find it in the second card. Okay, good. So I think all in all, the pieces are correct. It's just they might be in different kits. I do remember the day that we did this, and it was a lot going on that day. It was before the Stampin' Fun in the Sun, and it was the Friday before the Stampin' Fun in the Sun, if I'm not mistaken. It was a crazy day. But as long as all the pieces are in there, that's what matters. So we're going to put the happy birthday. Ooh, do you guys see that? I got that all over my block. Now, as long as you don't rock, you'll be fine. So I'm going to stamp this, but not rock my stamp. Because if I would have rocked, I would have gotten ink up there. So just be careful if that happens to you. And then the time to celebrate. 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 Go on and celebrate. Let's go ahead and grab... Oh, it's probably black ink, so we're okay. So that's going to get stamped. Okay, I've got a little curve to my paper, so I don't want it to be rolling up. I'm going to make it straight. I'm going to go right there. You are missing the pink flower. Before I could send you a message, you pulled the other flower. I'm speedy sometimes. Yeah, so I've got the right quantity of flowers. I'm just going to have a purple one instead of a pink one, which is completely acceptable in my book. And the other color that we need is the Petunia Pop. So let's grab that because the butterfly in this one uses petunia. I know it's petunia, but I like to say petunia. just like I put vanilla. And I add the E-I on everything. So this is petunia. And we're going to put the butterfly hanging out on our happy birthday. All right, wonderful, wonderful, very nice. Now we get to put together a lot of stuff. So let's see here. Let's start with a little bit of gluing of this and this to get rid of these pieces. Like that and that. You could put that side up if you so desire. So we need the strawberry slush mat here. Like that. And then this one, making sure that you have your flowers going right on both pieces of paper. Now I will advise, you're going to see that there's embossing missing from the bottom here. And that is because we put it in the folder all the way to make it go as high as it could over there. We knew that was going to happen. All right, so what we're going to do is line this up. And if you need to trim your designer paper, you can. Or if you need to trim your white paper, you can. All right, so there's what we have there. Also, let's glue this in because we can. And then again, a couple less pieces of paper floating around here. So we've got strawberry with petunia. We've got petunia. No, let's start over. We've got duckling with strawberry, strawberry with petunia, and then we've got petunia with pool party. All right, then over here we can grab our tear-in tape, and we're going to need a bunch of it. And that's because we gave you 4 inches of ribbon instead of 6. And so you'll just use a little bit more tear-in tape. But it saved a whole bunch of ribbon. So we're going to put this right in the middle and the back. And then we've got a little on the front. So let's pick those off. And what we're going to do, kind of got it centered so that the hem of the paper, I guess the seam of the paper, right, is right in the middle of the strawberry slush. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Right through the middle. All right. Now, if you need to measure it to see if you're right, like straight on, you're good. Go for it, measure it. And if you trust that your eyes are good, just go ahead and put a little more tear-in tape right over the top. And this one, I'm going to leave the backing on. On this one, though, back here, we'll go ahead and take those off because we're going to glue this right to the front of the card. Okay, so then this will go down on the front. Brings it all together with the pink and the purple. And then this guy, I'm going to pop that up with some big dimensionals, and that will go right on the card front. And that should cover up where the ends of the ribbon are exposed here. That'll get covered up. You can pick which side of the design or the embossed piece you want up. I liked that one. So this is going to go, I think what I did is I moved it up a hair so that you see a little bit more of the designer paper. So it's just north of the equator. So there's about this much here and there's a little bit more at the top so that you can see that paper back there, down there. All right, now this guy, from looking at this, you can see that it's just about a 1/4 inch taller. And if you want, you can leave it. We just thought it looked a little bit too long. So what we did is we took our scissors. It's just an accent piece back there. What we did is we cut it in half like that. And then you can grab some more tear-in tape. And you're going to run it along this back edge here. And there's a little bit less showing on the top as there is on the bottom. So I've got it coming out like this on the top, and then see, like right about like that. Ooh, oh, I got it over. So this is where you're gonna have to finagle with it. And I'll be honest with you, I think what I did is I wasn't quite sure exactly where I wanted it. So I set this on here. So I knew this was here, and then I kind of staged it while it was right there. because I wanted to see a little pink coming out there. And I didn't want it too far away. So I'm going to set it right about there. That looks like a good spot to me. Then on the other side, you're going to need more tear tape. So let's grab some more tear tape because it needs to attach this piece. And I just want to make sure I'm lined up good. Ha! You just got to make sure you get that tear tape in the right spot. All right. You know, the other thing too, I'm lucky because I have this here. I could go like this. When you guys have a sample at home, all you have to do is put it over the top of it and it should help you to pick it up. So it goes right about there. So I have a little bit more showing on the bottom than I do on the top. So when you've got that so far, if you like it, great. And if you're not, you can pick it around and adjust it as necessary. I was trying to get it though, that it was lined up on the back is what I was trying to eyeball. So that, there. So that it's straight and straight, right? To make it look like it is one piece, because that's really what you're going for. All right, I think we're good. I think we're alone now. All right, that can go straight down right onto the card. And then we've got a little final assembly of making our floral arrangement. I'll go like that. It's just a little bit different than the sample, and that's okay. No card is ever really going to be identical when it's handmade. All right, so we've got that to work with. All right, so you guys know the drill at this point. We have this guy hanging off the bottom, but he's not hanging off by a lot. So you don't really need a lot of dimensional down there, but we'll just put a little bit right there. And you need your glue dots. And we're going to put a few of them on, 2 of them actually. And it's hanging down the pink thing, that little pink rectangle by a little bit, and it hangs out right to the left of the time. All right, then you've got this yellow, and it's got just this little bit that's hanging. So let's just cut a little one, a wee little one, and put that right at the tip, right there. Because that part will be hanging off. And then you can grab the tail here. And right where that pink is, you're kind of overlapping that a little bit. And then you've got this greenie. And we're just going to do some glue dots on him, I think. Not a lot of him's hanging off the edge, but it's just a little bit like this. And we're going to play with this a little bit. So the purple flower is going to go there. You've got a pink flower coming up there. And then there's another purple. So I think we're in a good spot, except for this green could potentially come up just a hair more. And we're going to put a glue dot, and a glue dot. So you think that there's this big open area right there. Well, as soon as you put a purple flower there, it kind of fills that gap. And then you put a pink flower up here, and it fills that gap. And then you put one more purple flower right there, and that fills in that spot. And so that makes your little floral arrangement on the left side. On this guy, we need some glue dots. Again, heavily intensive on the glue dots. So that's going to get one. And this will get one. This is going to get 2. And then this will get a bunch as well. So we'll put one around the flower, the leaves on that side, and then that side. And then this needs a dimensional underneath here, and then one glue dot at the stem. And then this little guy, oh man, we'll put just one right there. And we'll put a glue dot over here. So we've got all these things staged. So first things first. I'm gonna grab this guy, and I'm just setting things here because I can rearrange them as I need to, but he's over here, something like that. This green one is about like that. This big flower is important. He's a base here. And we don't want him hanging off the edge. So he's gonna go something like that. And because you're using glue dots, you have the ability to finagle these things. Now this green one is showing over on this side, but I'm kind of full over there, but I feel as though he could fit really nicely right there. And then you've got 2 flowers left here. And because I have a purple and a pink, I could put this purple one here and then put a pink one in the middle, like that. And I think that works. It's a little bit different than this, and I'll show the differences here. Oh, and there's one glue dot right there that I ripped off. All right. Oh man, what's this guy for? He's my inside, I bet. Yes, I have that guy for the inside. Perfect. So on this one, the difference basically from the sample, you guys will see this in the picture. I had on my sample here pink, but I ended up with a purple. And on this one, I've got 2 purples here, and then this is 2 pinks here. This little guy is over here, where on this one I put it over there. And otherwise, it looks very similar. Okay, so it's not too far off or too far different. And they both look fine. They look good. This guy is what I had left for my inside. So that needs to go right down here. So you should have that flower left. Yeah, so Cindy, I had the same thing too. I don't know exactly what happened, I'll be honest with you. I had laid out all the flowers where they go, so I laid them out and we got something happening. But as long as you have what will work, right? Just like I did. I rearranged it slightly and it will work. So same thing happened to me. And I'm guessing that if it happened for you, that, oh, Doral, I'm glad you could catch me live too. I'm guessing that if it happened to Cindy and Debbie, that they had some mismatching in their envelopes, you guys, what you could do is like lay out your pieces and rearrange as necessary. So I do notice over here that this guy's hanging off and I don't have a dimensional back there. So I do want to grab this just to provide some support right here. That will help. But yeah, all in all, as long as you have enough flowers to make it look pretty, that is what's important. I don't have that purple one left like I did at the beginning of, like I thought I had that left at the beginning of class. I needed it for here. The only thing is that this has a little more green with yellow and this one has that little bit of blue tied in, but that's all right. It's flowers. It's flowers. And I'm gonna put a big one and a small one up there. And then I have one more gem, which I'll put maybe right there. All right. So I've consumed all my pieces. They're all gone. And if anybody has any issues, just let me know. We can always, if necessary, we can always go to this roll and put a little piece of white paper behind one of these and recut it and put it in with your next kit so that you guys are buttoned up. You haven't put any of the flowers on, so you'll be checking it out later. Okay, yeah, so Debbie, my advice would be to just see if anything needs to get mixed up differently so that it kind of matches what the sample was. But all in all, like we did when we originally designed the class, we laid out 2 sets, one pink and one purple, and then we mixed and matched all the flowers. And they really do go with each other, the pinks and the purples, the way we designed the cards. So you can go ahead and do a little stelling on there. You could Stella that. Oh my goodness, you can't even see the ribbon over here. Ah, so here's the deal. I just realized that the ribbon gets cut up. Covered. And if that's something that you want to see that ribbon here, that means that I'm down a little bit lower over here. What you could do is, because you're using glue dots and dimensionals, you could potentially rearrange stuff, right? So let me show you how I would do this. That can go up, and then this is like one unit and it's going to come up here, right? It's all good. See, now I can see my ribbon there. And let's put this guy over here. And we're gonna still have that yellow guy come up there. And we can finagle that. All right, see, I just rearranged it slightly and I can see my ribbon peeking out there. That was important to me because why put the ribbon there if you're not gonna see it, right? And all the extra work that you did putting it there. So it definitely helps to see that ribbon. I just kind of picked things up and moved them up. All right. So I think we're okay. That guy could even go right there. All right, wonderful. All right, we did it. Mikey did it. All right, Michelle, we'll check. Awesome, very good. So we did it. We got all 3 of the cards made. So here's one, here's a second, and then here was our third. So we had strawberry with duckling, strawberry with petunia, and then petunia with the pool party. So you know what I'm going to ask. I'm going to be, what's your favorite? Okay, so if your favorite, my favorite is this one, but they're all pretty. Like, I would be very happy to get any of these in the mail, I'll be honest. I think they all turned out great. Very pretty cards. All right, so I'm going to clean these up, and we're going to do a random number generator. And we're going to see who our lucky door prize winner is for class today. And then a note to you guys, we'll be live again at 6 for the mystery card night. And you guys should have your clue number 1 ready to go so that we can go ahead and make a card together. Very nice. All right, I got one more stamp, and that's what I'm doing. Buying myself a little time while you guys answer your quests. Okay, pool party with the pot, pool party. Petunia with the pool party. Oh yeah, I love it. Very good. Okay, you guys are liking what I like. Cindy says she likes the happy birthday the best, but they're all lovely. Good, very good. All right, let's get this guy cleaned up. All right, there. Good. Perfect. So let me pull out my book. And we will see, I don't think I actually calculated how many people we had for the drawing. So let me do that really quick. We have, all right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so we have 5 people. So let me grab my phone here and we will put random number generator in. And we'll put 5. I'm going to hit generate. And it's 4. Let's see who number 4 was. 4 was Rose Garibaldi. Yay, Rose. I see that you are the 4th one that placed an order to get the class for free. So you are the lucky winner of a door prize. And the door prize will be included in your July package or the next package that you get with me for your card classes. So the June ones have already left. And so we'll keep that on the radar for July. Debbie said they're all very pretty, but the pool party gets the vote. Yay! And Kelly likes the petunia pop and the pool party the best, but all are beautiful. I definitely agree, you guys. They are all beautiful. Like, I would be very happy to get all 3, any of the 3 of these cards in the mail, right? Or hand delivered, however it works. So, very good. Okay, so we did it. We got through Let's Just Stamp without a hitch. Well, I would say without a hitch. Maybe, like I had to scratch my head about that because I think that we had a couple little things in the wrong envelopes, but all in all, we got them done. And I'm guessing that everybody might have a little bit of a little mixture of the flowers different. They all look similar, you guys. I will be honest. When they duplicated the pink and the purple, and then they just changed the greens to be a little bit more bluey greens and regular greens. And then you had, if you think about it, there's probably 20 pieces in each one, so there were 40 pieces that of little BB bits and parts that my gals helped me like lay out. It got to be a little tedious. So all in all, I think that all the bits and parts are in your envelopes. They just might be in different envelopes. And so before you get glue happy with the first one like I did, you might just consider looking through all of them and like laying out the flowers in your bits and parts before you get assembly happy. So, all right, we did it. Yes, congratulations to Rose Garibaldi. That's exciting. We'll have to watch the replay. The cards are beautiful. Well, have you guys been working with the washi tape yet? I know it went out of stock and it just came back in stock. So now people that weren't able to order it earlier, but for those that were able to order it, have you been working with it? Have you been playing with it? I'm curious. I'll flip them down again. Like, I guess I never really researched or looked out there what people were doing with it, but when we were trying to think of a way to do this class for you guys and to make the best bang for the buck, I guess you could say, where you each got the purple and the pink to work with, and then we divided up all the flowers, like we all of a sudden it came to us with the frames, and it looked great to put these things around frames. I haven't been seeing what anybody else is doing with these little die cut pieces. So it'll be interesting as people play with it more now that it's back in stock, what you guys are going to create with it. But it is $15 for the whole roll, and again, you get 30 sets. So 30 of the pink and 30 of the purple at least. And it might even be 32 sets of it, but there's definitely a lot of washi tape on that roll. So, and there isn't really a good way to share this roll with somebody, because once you start unrolling it, like, you got to start working with it. So you get a roll and it's going to last you a lifetime, I would have to say, unless you do a class with 60, then you'll go through 2 rolls lickety split. So yeah, but they're good. So I can't wait to see what you guys make. And then it was really fun tying in the Impressions of Bloom designer paper, because that paper really matched the color palette for the washi tape. So these flowers. So good deal. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to let it be. We're going to call it a good day so far, and we're going to end the live. We'll be back with you guys tonight for what's it? It's a mystery card night. So lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you guys. We'll see you in about 3 hours. Love ya. Bye.